Hey friends, Sadie here with my 2026 predictions. I've always been really good at predicting things, but I have never put them into one video. So let's see how we do for 2026. Please excuse me, I'm old school. I do have all of my notes here on paper, so we're just gonna have to get through them that way. Straight out the gate, first and foremost, we have been saying this in PIPs for years. Human connection and community are going to be number one moving into 2026. If you are trying to do faceless videos with AI voices, if you are trying to build a subscription model or a low ticket membership or anything where you are not showing up, where you're just sitting back trying to collect the money and you're not wanting to put your face on a camera, you're going to struggle compared to those who just get on camera and say what they need to say. I know that it can be scary to get on video. I know that a lot of women feel like they need to do a whole face of makeup and have the perfect background and blah, 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 all the things. But what I've learned from starting before I was ready is that the first few videos people aren't going to see anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So it's kind of an excuse to be like, oh no, people are going to pick apart my video. Listen, nobody's going to see your first few videos. They don't really matter that much. The reason that they matter is because it's you doing the thing. It's you showing the universe, hey, universe, I'm doing the thing. I'm open to abundance. Let's work together. Because we're not just sitting here manifesting and expecting everything to come to us passively, which leads me into passive income no longer really being the main focus for a lot of our businesses. And what I mean by that is for a long time, my whole business is called Passive Income Pathways, right? But for a long time, we've been talking about working less and making more. And we're still going to be able to do that. Don't get me wrong, especially with AI, we are going to be working less. However, just on that same human connection standpoint, we're not going to be working less in the way where we just pop up a website and sit back and collect the ad revenue. Those days have been gone for a while, even though some people are still trying to hang on to them. I could probably go into some predictions about ad revenue and those kinds of things, but it's not on my list, so I'm not going to. But there are much better ways to make money in 2026. It all comes back to that human connection, though. Don't be trying to set things up that are just like fake and all AI, because even though AI has only been mainstream for a few years, I feel like a lot of us are already kind of sick of how much people are phoning it in with AI. I like to use AI to enhance what I have in my brain. Some people are using AI to replace what they have in their brains, and that's not really something that we as a collective are connecting to anymore. At this point, honesty and transparency are going to become even more valuable. You being vulnerable and telling people about mistakes you made, whoops, messed that one up, this is what I learned from it, that's going to be very powerful in 2026 and beyond, because we have all these like cookie cutter AI things, right? And after a little while, people are going to get sick of everything being so perfect. Some of us already are. So they're really going to connect with people who can hop on YouTube or in their Facebook group or send an email being like, hey guys, I thought this was a really great idea. It wasn't after all, but I tried it and this is what I learned from it. So sharing the goof ups and the mistakes that you've made, sharing your failures, which we all know the only way to actually fail is to stop trying. But a lot of times we have to pivot, right? And sometimes those can feel like failures. Speaking of, I had a project this year that was a collaborative project. It was called Profitable Pivots. I told everyone I'm not going to, micromanage you and tell you exactly how many times you have to share. I just want us all to work together collectively to share everyone's stuff and make it amazing. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. Even with email reminders, I watched a lot of the contributors, especially the ones with bigger lists. They didn't promote it at all. They just put their stuff in there. They received signups from it and they didn't share. And so that rolls me into collaboration being a really big deal in 2026, more so than it has been, but collaboration where everyone's pulling their own weight. So we're not going to have these people who are judging you on your list size and talking down to you, looking down on you because you have a small list size or you haven't grown yet, right? Those people, they're going to be left behind in 2025. But we are going to have these collaborations where you can either grow your authority in this space by giving more than you're taking, which will actually help you grow more, or you're going to lose your authority in this space by taking more than you're giving. We notice, we pay attention, we see who shares when they're supposed to share and who doesn't. We see who shows up and shares for themselves but doesn't share for anybody else unless maybe it's an affiliate link. We see those things and we're paying attention more now than ever. Lots of jobs this year will be lost to AI. I mean, we already had a lot of people lose them in 2024, 2025, 2026 is not going to be any different. Might even be more jobs lost to AI, but the saying is true. We've been saying this since 2020, probably 2021. AI isn't going to take your job. Someone who knows how to use AI is going to take your job. Now, in 2025, 2026, yeah, you might be getting laid off, especially if you're kind of in the middle. If you're up here and you're maybe managing a lot of people, you're probably going to be working with AI directly, right? But you're going to work with that AI to replace all the people that are in the middle and lower tiers in your company. That's a lot of people that are going to be losing their jobs. So we, as internet marketers, digital creators, whatever you want to call yourself, we need to help with this gap. There's going to be a lot of people that have lost their job and they're like, oh my gosh, they're either going to be terrified of AI, and that's a gap right there that you can fill. You can help people not be scared of AI, help them learn how to use it, how to leverage it, and how to get their lives back and make more money than they ever have as an employee. Or we're going to have people who are very, very interested in AI and they're just going to take it off and run with it, but they don't understand all of the online marketing aspects, maybe. Or maybe they want to become a coach and they already have like this big, awesome plan in place. But as we know, it's 20% content creation, 80% marketing. So these amazing creators, and maybe they even have some awesome like speaking skills, communication skills, right? And maybe they're even great at creating these programs, but they don't have the marketing skills. Or we have people who have marketing skills, but don't have the content creation skills. So I can see a large gap here for coaching the coaches. That's what Akita does with Coaching That Clicks. It teaches teachers and anyone who wants to be a coach really how to be better coaches, which leads them to making more money. So coaching the coaches, coaching people from offline to online. That's something that I'm helping with in Explore Your Woo at very specific set of people, spiritual entrepreneurs, light workers, psychics, that kind of person. I'm helping them take their gifts from offline. Maybe they're a card slinger and they're going to all these events, not making a lot of money, taking that offline, bringing it online to make way more money and just spend so much less energy. That's who I'm helping. Just this tiny little set of people, light workers, psychics, etc. But there's a huge gap for everyone who is either losing their job or trying to make a living online that don't know how to do that yet. If you're watching this video, you probably already know how to help people get online. So think about the skills that you have. Think about what you're really good at, even if it feels like it's not a big deal because it comes, naturally to you. It's still a really big deal to people who are not online yet. In fact, I have my first 3 coaching clients in the spiritual niche, and oh my goodness, I thought that with Pips, I was teaching like the basic, like start from scratch, start from step 0. No, the people that I'm coaching right now, the people I'm attracting right now, they are amazing at what they do. They are amazing psychics and tarot card readers and light workers and healers and all kinds of people, right? But they don't have the slightest clue about creating an email list. When I ask them, I'm like, well, about Subtrio. You probably don't know about Subtrio because it's my platform and it's not offline. But you probably know about Go High Level, right? It's a white label of Go High Level. And they're like, what? High what? Go what? I was like, oh, well, Go High Level, it's an all-in-one CRM. And they're like, a what? And I'm like, oh, well, where you host your email list and your courses and your memberships and that. And they're like, what? And it's just on and on and on. But if you're watching this video, you already know how to set up an email list, probably. If not, go talk to AI and learn in 5 minutes. But like the amount of space between where I thought level 0 was to where people are from offline coming online, that gap is as big as the Grand Canyon. There are so many ways to serve them. You can just teach people how to set up email lists. Pam does this. She has we have Template Treehouse and Build a Bot Club. She also has a Get Shit Done coaching program that she, a cohort for like I think about 6 weeks. She kind of rotates them throughout the year. And later on in 2026, we're going to be launching the Get Shit Done coaching. I'm going to help her get that off the ground. But she teaches about email marketing in there, and there's so many people that join and they don't have a list. They don't know how to set up a list. So just that tiny little part of business, that's a gap. And you can do all that has to do with email, setting it up, building it, writing the emails, or you can just start with a tiny little foundation. And there's so much. There's creating digital products, creating courses, creating memberships, all of that we teach in PIPS, right? But you can just take a tiny little dot of it, and that can be the foundation of a whole new business in 2026. There are so many people who need this. And let's talk about charging a little bit. So I feel like in 2026, there is space for low, mid, and high ticket. And I've been teaching this in summits for a while now. I really strongly believe in creating an ecosystem of offers. And what I mean by that is having your free offers, your low ticket, your mid ticket, your high ticket. So start with low ticket, and that's my path. That's what I recommend. Start with low ticket, build that foundation of monthly recurring revenue. Once you have that foundation, then you can start building the bigger courses or do your higher ticket coaching, higher ticket hands-on stuff, that kind of thing, right? But I really, really strongly believe in the low ticket foundation. Now, with that being said, I do think that lifetime deals are going to be more popular this year than maybe they ever have been. I'm not sure if, I don't know when they've been popular in the past. I've kind of seen them go up and down. I have historically not been a fan of lifetime deals because, like with Thrivecart, for example, they didn't really update anything and their customer service wasn't that great. And that's just what you come to expect from lifetime deals. However, the tides are changing, and I see this even in my VIP membership. So we are creating lifetime offers, and a lifetime offer, it doesn't mean for the rest of your life. Make it very clear that this means at least this long. So for me, when I do a lifetime offer, it means at least 2 years. Another thing that I see being popular is like a retirement sale kind of thing. So imagine someone builds a business, and I'll just use PIPS for example. So say that I was just done with PIPS and I wanted to move on to another venture. A lot of us are like that. We have ADHD. We don't keep businesses for very long. PIPS is going to be 5 years by the end of 2026. That's crazy. That's a long time for me. But let's say that I'm just like, okay, can't do it anymore. So instead of just closing the business down, I could have a retirement sale. And so this would be like, oh, you can pay $997 or whatever number you want to get all of my courses and access to the community forever, something like that. So the business stays there as a minimum viable. So basically just as the community, but people pay one time for lifetime access. Now there's a million different ways you can do this. That's just an example. So get creative. If you are done with a business, see if you can sell a lifetime option, or see if you can do a retirement sale. See if you can do something to get your product out there just a little bit more, to get that revenue coming in, and to make sure that that audience is served. Please don't do a lifetime offer and then close your business. Like, that's not what I'm saying. These are two separate things. So lifetime, if you're going to keep going, or if you want to bring it to, kind of like a minimum viable, maybe you're only doing a course a quarter, that's cool. Retirement sale is, okay, I'm done. Maybe we'll keep the community, just because I do feel like there's still value in a community, even if you're not adding courses and stuff anymore. So community, human connection, very, very important now and moving forward. Having a niche audience is not as important as it was before. Having a very tight niche topic is not as important. People are noticing we're multifaceted creatures. However, you will make a ton more money if you go hyper focused. So what I mean by this is you can have a business where you serve a large demographic. So I serve women, but I'm not super specific. I'm not like, I serve women who want to leave their jobs that are age 35 to 50. Like, I don't get very specific with my pips. My pips, my VIP is I serve women who want to affect change in the world by creating low ticket memberships in a financially accessible way, right? Like, they have to check those boxes. They have to want to do low ticket, or my messaging isn't going to resonate with them. They have to want to help people, or my messaging is not going to resonate with them. A lot of stuff that we do, it is just to help people. We're not even focused on the money aspect of it because we're here to serve. So I'm serving a large demographic though. I don't go narrow in who it is. I go narrow in, you just got to check these boxes and we're good. I don't care about anything else. But if I were to create a business that only focused on helping teachers quit their jobs, for example, that is going to be so focused and so targeted. All of your messaging is going to be on point. All of your messaging will hit hard every single time. You can A/B split test the crap out of everything and build a beautiful, beautiful page. So I know that kind of sounded like I was talking for both sides there, and I kind of am. You don't have to be super, super, super niche like we've been saying for years. They've been saying for years. I've been saying for a few years. It's helpful. But again, ADHD, I have multifaceted. We are multifaceted, right? And we have multiple interests. So think about who it is that you're serving and think about what road you want to take. Do you want to be hyper focused and only talk about one thing forever and ever? Amen. I can't do that. I can't just teach teachers how to quit their job. I have to have variety. So I like talking to stay-at-home moms versus I want to leave corporate versus I'm a teacher and I want to quit. Like all of those things, right? I love having the different people to talk to. But there is still value in hyperfocus. With that being said, people are going to follow you more so than the topic. So even back in my Slapdash Mom days, whenever I had that blog, everyone was saying niche, pick a niche, and I just talked about whatever I wanted to talk about. People followed that blog for me because they wanted to see my thoughts on something, because they wanted to see my angle on something. That is becoming stronger and stronger this year and moving into 26 and in the future. Again, it all comes back to human connection. They want to know your thoughts and opinions, not AI. Which brings me to the next, it's weird to call them predictions, but here we are. Being able to distill down knowledge and teach it to people is going to be more valuable than it ever has. Akita, who I was telling you about earlier, Coaching That Clicks, she is amazing. She's a 5th grade teacher, so she's really good at explaining concepts on a level that everybody understands. But she's so amazing at, like, she will take one of my coaching sessions and improve it. She will take one little nugget of information and turn it into a whole system. And there's something to be said, especially in the day and age of AI, for someone who's able to do that instead of just reading and regurgitating AI. I've seen so much AI fluff and crap this year, and even in the past years, but especially this year as it's becoming more mainstream and more creators are using it. Like, I can tell that you didn't distill this down at all. If I wanted an 86-page PDF, I would have just went and talked to AI, and then I would have had AI distill it down. So we've got to make sure that we're not just copying and pasting the AI slop that we get out. We got to go back and forth. We got to do a little dance with it, right? And then we still have to be able to distill it down. I did a call last night and I used AI to outline it, but the outline was like 3 pages. I had like a page of bullet points that I used. I did not just go through the 3 pages. You can tell when someone's doing that. Again, it feels like there's no human connection. I think I said this already. My notes are all over the place, but there will be some changes to subscription models coming in this year and forward. People are seeking lifetime access. They want to pay one time and get it forever. Uh, and your low ticket memberships really need to include a community aspect, a human connection aspect. My memberships, I think yeah, all of them except for my $5 bite-sized bot vault. That's, you just get the bots, but people sell bots for like $100 a piece. So you get a ton of custom GPTs in there for $5 a month. But anyway, all of my other memberships have a human connection. We have at least one call per month where we all get on and connect. In my VIP coaching, we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 calls a week with that human connection, either with me or one of my coaches. So moving forward, if you want to compete in the low ticket subscription space, you really have to still put yourself into it. Not that, like I said at the beginning, sitting back, passive income, I'm not showing up. No, show up and make those human connections. And it's not just so you can make more money, it's so you can help more people. It's so you can help share your values and find people that share your values and create a ripple effect of generosity throughout the world. That's what Pips is trying to do, is create this ripple effect of people who actually give a shit. And circles back to the human connection, actually care about people. Like sit down and think about how you can help them, not, oh, what are their pain points and how can I use this certain type of language to twist the knife in and then be their knight in shining armor and offer them the solution. Bro dudes are out, y'all. Like, stop even looking at them and watching them and giving them airtime. Every time somebody's like, oh, you know who da-da-da is? And I'm like, who the F is that? And I Google, it's a bro dude. No, I don't know who that is. I don't put that garbage in my head. Bro dudes are out. Listen to strong business women, okay? Get some diversity in your feed. If your whole feed looks like a school launch party, then there's a problem. You really, really, really have got to think about longevity here. Leave the bro dudes in 2025. Move forward with people who actually care and are going to help you grow, and then you can help other people grow as well. Another prediction that I have is that collaborations are going to be huge, but again, like I said, it's collaborations where everybody pulls their weight. This thought that I have here is more like collaborative partnerships. And so that might look like something like Driven Dozen, where I have strategic partnerships with multiple people and I help them grow their businesses. Or it can look like people coming together and building one business. Let me warn against that model. I know it feels like if 4 people come together and put all their effort in to build one business, that it's going to be easier. It's going to grow faster. It's going to get bigger. You're going to have to work less. But partnerships, for the most part, like that, to start a business are not a great idea. I have so much experience with partnerships, and most of them went terribly. I am still owed like $15,000 or $20,000 from my ex-partner with the Women of AI, who signed a contract, said she was going to buy me out, and then let the business completely fall apart and never, ever paid me. Partnerships have not gone well for me, and I know some have, and I'm thankful for them, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't think partnerships are worth it, especially not with 3, 4, 5 people. So when you're thinking about collaborating, think about owning your own business and then collaborating with other business owners rather than getting together with a bunch of other people and creating one business. Now, partnerships where it's 2 people, hit or miss, can go great if you plan it out right and you have the right people, right? But a bunch of people coming together, do not recommend. Ever since the pandemic, I feel like parents and children have felt a little more disconnected than in years past, both because of the rise of AI and because of just the isolation of said pandemic. With that being said, parents of my generation, I'm 40, so ish, just depending on it's parents with kids that are like ages 10 to 25 right now. Those parents are really wanting to connect. They don't know how to connect. They feel very disconnected. So there's a gap in the market there, and you can help parents and kids connect. Teens, young adults, whether the kids are still living at home or leaving, there is a big disconnect with a lot of parents. I'm very fortunate. Whenever I was raising my kids, I was working from home. So even during the pandemic, everything kind of stayed the same for my family as far as our day-to-day goes. After the pandemic, same thing. Everything's pretty much stayed the same as far as connection and time together. I always prioritize that, but not everybody was able to do that, and I understand that. But now we're seeing the effects of that. We're seeing the effects of parents having to work too much, and then parents being broke because of the pandemic, and then parents not knowing what to do with their kids because their kids were isolated all this time. And it's a big thing. Okay. So, creating products or spaces that can help parents and their children or adult children connect. Great idea for 2026. Okay, I think I have about 2 more left, if my notes are correct. People are getting healthier in large part due to GLP-1 assistance, myself included. Thankful for GLP-1s and their accessibility. I know they're not accessible to everyone yet, but just being able to get it, even if I have to pay for it, has just been huge. It is an opportunity to help people who are getting healthier because they need support. A lot of these people are getting these medications and then not getting any support at all. Their doctors aren't following up. There's just like these fly-by-night places that are just like, here's your prescription, bye. So these people need support. Creating a membership, a community, a space, products to help these people, both to connect with others, because there's a lot of people who don't want to tell people that they're on these medications, just because of, I guess, probably fear of judgment. I don't care. I think it's awesome that they're available, and I'll tell everybody that I'm taking them. They have really helped me. But I understand some people can't deal with the judgment, and that's fine. But these people still need support. They need help. They need human connection, and a lot of them need supplements. These medications make it to where, at least in my experience, you're not really hungry. And if you're not really hungry and you just eat a few chips instead of some protein, then your body is not getting the nutrients it needs. So they need supplements, they need meal plans, they need assistance, they need advice, they need help. Make sure that you're qualified before you go off and do that kind of stuff. But and there's a lot of bariatric patients that need this kind of help, that are, again, they'll go get the surgery and then they're kind of left on their own. And then just anybody who is getting healthier. A lot of people are also getting plastic surgery now because we lose the weight and then our bodies are just like all kinds of, this is going to be like way down here by the time I'm done losing my weight, right? And so a lot of people go and get that plastic surgery. Guess what? They need support too. Because there are, again, a lot of places you just go and get it and then that's it. So just think about supporting people who are getting healthier. This is like lifting weights, going for walks, things that maybe people aren't doing right now that they should be to keep getting healthier with these medications. And then last but not least, my biggest prediction for 2026 is that our companies are going to become even more global. As everything gets more accessible because of AI, as AI itself gets more accessible, we are going to have more and more people from around the globe wanting to join our memberships. I already have this. I love it. I set it up this way from the beginning. That's why my products are so accessible and so affordable, because I want people from around the world to come in and learn how to create a business. So whenever this happens, you've got to remember that there are differences based on cultures and countries and all of these things, right? So if you are creating a global company, I want you to keep this in mind when you're serving people from other countries and other cultures. We need to be sensitive to that, and we need to put the work in to learn a little bit about the cultures that you are serving. If you notice that somebody from India joins, talk to them. Find out what they're looking for, how you can help them. Chances are if you help them, they've got friends that you can help from no matter who it is. It doesn't matter if they're in Australia or India or Kenya or wherever, right? All over the world. If you can help someone, they're going to tell other people about it. This is how we create a ripple effect, and I'm going to do a whole video on how to create a ripple effect, but this video has already gotten long enough. My list is finished. These are my predictions for 2026. I would love to know in the comments what your predictions are and or what you think of these predictions. Are there any that you agree with, disagree with? Which one's your favorite? Let me know.